Yeah, it takes a minute, I guess, for it to actually show that we're live, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so just bear with me.
No
I don't
problem.
know why it does that.
I'm also
Okay,
gonna
as soon as
post
I
a
see it on
screen here
YouTube,
too,
that means we're good.
so that way you
Um,
guys can see the chat.
Wait, where is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm posting it right
it's
now, bud.
under. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Um, okay,
Yeah, I just
so
got you, baby. Don't you worry about that.
thank you, baby girl. Okay, so we are live now. Um, welcome to Tech Talk with the Westside Button Mashers. I am your host, Thumper. I have some special guests here today. Also, my co-host, I got Sid. Say what's up, Sid.
What's up?
And then I also got your favorite Edgelord and Snow Bunny Master, Schluddy.
Yas, batch.
And another fellow alumni of the Tech Talk podcast series, LBD.
Hey, good to be back.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being back. And another special guest we have is a gentleman out of the blind FGC, if you will, Konnor. Welcome. Go ahead and introduce
Nice to
yourself.
be here. Thank you. I'm Konnor, aka MTL Killer X18. Yep, from the blind FGC community. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes. Oh my gosh. We like I said earlier, like I'm honestly like so excited because I mean or Sid was talking about a gentleman that he feels for sure is not blind, um, just because how badly he got beaten, I think is what it is.
I don't know why we had to bring that up, but okay.
You got caned.
He got caned. Oh, okay. So that may be that was one of our
I
questions
think we
on
can
who
move
you.
on. Thank you.
So I mean, okay. So how do we start this? Is how did you start with I mean the fighting game community, or I guess just Mortal Kombat itself?
Ooh, I can answer that both ways actually. So how I started in fighting games was I got surgery on my leg at one point, so I couldn't really do anything. I was
Hmm.
like nine. I was like 9 years old, and Dad brought home MK Armageddon for the Wii. Me as
Oh wow.
someone, yeah, the brokenness that is Armageddon was, we can all attest to it.
Yes.
Me wondering how this game works because I've played other games like Wii Sports, all the generic shit that you'd find on the Nintendo.
Hmm.
I was curious because I've never heard of Mortal Kombat. Of course, me being the 9-year-old at the time, I wasn't supposed to know about it.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, full frontal surgery on my leg. Couldn't do anything, so all I could do was sit back and learn the game. And my first character, oddly enough, it wasn't Kenshi. This was before I knew all
Baraka.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, actually, it was Baraka.
Let's
Oh wow.
go!
Yes, sir. To the Brockamanes, of course, out there, the tribe.
I can't play him in MK11 though. I can't.
Sorry, excuse Sid. Proceed, please.
Anyways, I just started small. I didn't learn any of the crazy big combos. I figured out that a launcher launched, and I could do like a bigger string after that, or if I wanted to, an uppercut. Found out that you could do death traps. That was fun because hearing someone die from getting knocked into a fan is something, worth hearing.
Right.
Mind you, I was on hospitalized school, so whenever a teacher would come in to hear that, I imagine I got some pretty funny looks.
Right. Right. Like, what is this
Oh,
kid playing this gory game?
well, it's not like I could see it, so.
Right. Right. It makes sense.
Oh. And how I got into the fighting game community in general, that was much later. That was much, much later.
Uh huh.
That was, I want to say no. I was 5 years later.
Uh huh.
I met this guy named Sparta.
Okay.
Now he didn't. I don't think he considered himself a part of the community. He probably followed, a bunch of big streamers. But as for me learning NetherRealm title games, I have never played MK9. I'm just gonna say that now. I have never been able to get my hands on MK9. I wanted to for a
Uh-huh.
while, but eventually gave up because I realized, well, you can't play anymore. So,
Right.
first MK game that came out for NetherRealm that I had played, besides this one, which is the only one out there, was MKX.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I had no idea that you could literally do touch of death combos in that game. It was close enough.
Right.
So when I first met Matthew, it was my first ever day online. I thought I was the hot stuff. I got shown up by his Aaron Black.
That's how it
Oh.
goes.
Yeah.
That was an experience.
Very relatable. Very relatable. It's my
Yes.
first time online.
Yes.
It's
I
like,
agree.
what do you do? And then later on, through the years, him and I really just became friends. Like, I'm a lot younger than him. Well, not a lot, but like a few years. And we still hang out. Not as much as we used to, but we still do. I've been trying to get him to play Halo Infinite with me for a while, but he's like, nah, man, this would go horribly. I'm like, no, it wouldn't. But back on track, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
After that, we started playing Injustice 2. That game was hard. I swear to God. I can't deal... Zoning is my kryptonite. I can't deal with it, so when you're playing something like Injustice, you get frustrated easily.
Right.
And that
Yeah,
was my
definitely.
problem. So, I moved on from that game, took a break from it, didn't really get involved in the community. I joined some posts for a while, but I was an extreme Bane main in that one. I loved Bane, still do from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I played Batman as well. I for some reason, I've just played the Bat characters a lot more. Robin as well. I played Superman a tiny bit.
Uh-huh.
By a tiny bit, I mean I pissed a few people off with him.
Right. Yeah, yeah. He's probably like the best character in the game.
I don't know. I think that spot belongs to Batman.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Could be too. Yeah, definitely.
Stupid trait. Now, when it came to MK11, final release, as of now, the incomplete nonsense that is this game. I even know that it's not finished. It should be, but it's not.
Uh-huh.
But when it came down to this one, this was... it was interesting, because it didn't happen until later on. I had another group of friends that I played casually with, one I no longer talk to.
Uh-huh.
Sadly. I haven't seen him in a long time. But now we have MK11. Matt was stoked. That's Sparta.
Okay, uh-huh.
I was interested to see what they would do, because sound in games means everything. I'm just gonna say that now. It means everything, especially with someone like me who can't. Okay. I'm just gonna say this now. There's a difference between visually impaired and fully blind. I fit the fully blind ladder. Like,
Oh,
it's
wow,
it's
huh.
full on. Like, I can't see anything. Light does not count. So
Okay.
when I say that sound means everything, it means everything.
Definitely. I mean, you could definitely hear, like, of course, hit confirms, flawless blocking, and probably I would assume a little bit of blocking.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so are you able to differentiate like maybe like certain grunts? Like, okay, I don't know, maybe this grunt is gonna be just a straight one, or this
Yeah.
one is like a down two for that, for that matter?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Interesting. And
Because
go
they
ahead.
follow a specific pattern.
I see. Okay. And what pattern is that again? Just strictly sound?
Yeah,
Okay.
depends on the severity of the attack. Such as, what's a good example? Shiva's down back one. The anti-air throw.
Okay, uh-huh.
When she finally slams you down, it sounds like the character is in excruciating amount of pain.
Uh-huh. Right.
Like, especially for Scorpion. I don't know if you've ever done that to him. Probably. I don't know how many of you guys play Shiva.
None of us do.
I don't blame you. Fun character, but PTSD.
You're right, exactly. Agreed.
But yeah, I can differentiate between the punches. Now, this is where, I was saying earlier that we were stoked for this game. When it first came out, like when I first saw what they were doing with it,
Uh-huh.
I liked the abilities thingy. It was definitely not like Injustice 2 where you had to grind 24/7 to get a certain ability you wanted, which is fine, but for me, I couldn't tell because they didn't. You know, I'm still grinding for gear to this day. Let's just say that.
Right, right.
Yeah, no, it's not pretty. So, Matt and I are still playing. A few friends come and go along the way. We're still learning the game as it's progressing through its infancy, all the way down to Aftermath, in which I meet Tootin, if you guys know who that is. Tootin?
I heard the name.
He's done Mortal Kombat leaks and then moved on to Dead by Daylight.
Oh, I know you don't.
Okay, I think I've heard that name actually. Now that you said that, yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of leak videos, and I'm still on the server actually.
Oh yes, okay. He's got that funny looking like stick figure looking. I would
think
assume
so.
it's like he's got like I don't know. It's really funny and he doesn't really play competitively, huh? Or he kind of did for a minute there, but I know he doesn't really care too much for MK11 as well.
He didn't. He very much didn't. When Rambo dropped, he was excited like all the other characters, and then when we started playing him, it kind of it showed that we just weren't. I don't know. We weren't feeling it. That's all I'm gonna
Interesting, interesting.
say. But I meet Tootin. I tell him, hey, like, I think someone actually told him that I was blind. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Uh-huh.
But we start talking, and one of these conversations, he was like, "How do you do all this stuff?" And I'm like, completely messed out. Now, I'm casually minding my own business in school, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I get this Discord message from him. And he's like, "Yo, there's a guy I want you to meet. His name is Rattlehead." And I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" He's like, "He's blind as well." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Because there's only one other blind person I know that plays this game. That his name is Moon.
Uh-huh.
Really, really good player as well. Definitely needs patience though. Sorry, buddy. But excuse me. I'm sorry. I thought I heard something.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh, you said you thought you did what now?
Yeah, I know. I use those expressions on a regular basis.
Interesting. Interesting.
I use those expressions on a daily basis.
Oh,
Alright?
do you now? Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, the jury's still out for that one, buddy.
You want pictures? I can give them to you.
Nah, see you
I'm
do.
as blind as a bat.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
You'll see me staring off into the distance.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and proceed. Sid's very.
That's Sid for you. I know. He's still pissed about getting caned. Anyways. Anyways, I finally he was like, all right, this is excuse me. This is Rattlehead's Twitter and Twitch, and I'm thinking this guy's a scam, right? There's no way this is real because he's blind and they turn out to be faking it. So I'm like, okay, this has gone long enough, and I finally decided to check out this guy out of curiosity more than anything. Now, rewind back to 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
For this, I watched a video on this dude who played Evo when he was blind. That guy turned out to be Rattlehead.
Interesting.
And I didn't know that until I saw that video 5 years later. Again. So, for me, it was a very big surprise. Like, there's more of us? Excuse me? Like, huh?
I would have, yeah, that would seem very, like, I guess, to say, like, in layman's terms, just kind of like, it's kind of coincidence and then, like, kind of like, it's just, like, awesome at the same time, right?
It is, because you actually feel like you can connect with other people. Like, you make friends in this community, but when you have something completely different than what they do, it's kind of harder to connect with them, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, it was hard connecting with certain people until I met Matt and a few other. And then, meeting these other people, it's like, well, damn, like, where have you guys been?
Right.
I've never, experienced what it's like to, have this. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured out that he's hosting a tournament. Well, he hosted a tournament that was like 2 years ago, and I'm thinking to myself, if he's hosting one this year, I'm going to try joining.
Oh, okay,
And he did. He did. I came in with, well, I was original Shiva main, and no, I didn't, for anyone wondering in the chat if there is anyone in there, I did not spam stomp.
We wouldn't blame you, but yes, so go proceed.
I used it mainly as a tracking move. If someone was trying to zone me out, I'd jump in on them.
Right, okay. Respectable.
It feels like that option was taken away from me, though, sadly.
Yes, unfortunately, it completely just obliterated, in a sense.
Sadly. Like, what was that?
Yeah, she's almost, like, completely irrelevant now. And so now it sounds like you obviously play Kane?
I play Kano. I play a lot of characters.
Oh, okay. Because
Sid told,
I was gonna say Sid told us you played Kotal. That's what almost made me not want to do this interview. No, I'm just kidding. No, I used to have a lot of problems with Kotal, but now I seem to kind of not so much. I kind of have been better at going against the command grab.
Yeah.
It's broken. To me that
We can all agree
it is.
that.
Oh, you do agree. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And if any of you guys want to have any questions for Konnor, please go ahead and chime in. I feel like I'm doing all the talking right now.
Yeah, I got a question. How about I go first?
Oh,
Hey, Konnor, how do you feel about how do you sleep at night knowing that you've cheated millions of people out of wins?
Oh.
How about we start there, huh? Okay, thank you.
This guy.
I'm just kidding. No, actually, no, Konnor, I really did have a question. First of all, you said that you're, I don't think you actually, unless you're not comfortable with it, which is totally fine. I totally don't want to pressure you into anything. But you said that that you had leg surgery. Now, I have actually had, I've never had surgery on my leg. I've hurt my leg really bad though, and I'm sure like it really has. And I know people that have had surgery on their leg, and I've never seen anybody go blind because they had surgery on their leg. So if you could fill in the blanks there, as far as
I'm blind, dude.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, no, that's why I was confused. Okay, I don't think I caught that one.
Oh, you thought
All right.
that was.
I thought that the leg surgery had contributed somehow, but I wasn't sure.
Just
I wanted
shut
that-
up.
I wanted that cleared up. I just wanted that cleared up, but nobody else said anything. I was like, oh.
You
Right,
want to be
right.
sure? It's alright. I respect it.
Yeah.
He wants to be sure
Oh.
he's getting beat.
Oh,
fair and square.
fairly and square.
Yes, exactly. The pawn
That's
said
understandable.
Sid is so toxic.
Oh, the poor guy.
Um, so, Schluddy or LBD, you have any questions by any chance?
Yeah. I have a couple actually that I was wondering about. So the first is, um, like when you're actually I have like three questions, but I guess the first would
Sure.
be like when you're playing the neutral game, how do you kind of like get a idea of where your opponent is on the screen? Like, do you use like a projectile to like see how long it takes to hit them if they're blocking it or something? Like, I'm really curious about that.
Um, it's hard to say, really. I kind of just listen to where they're at,
Okay.
and if I feel like I'm gonna, if it sounds like it's gonna hit, then I do it. If if I get some bullshit, then it's like, okay, fine, I
Hmm.
got cheated.
Okay. Gotcha.
But as for controlling the neutral, it's more of just for me seeking openings and getting hit confirms. That's literally my playstyle. I know some frame data, but not a lot to really, make me a credible source of, like, what do I do in this situation?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess I was curious because I've heard of some players before using like certain moves to gauge the distance by sound. The one that sticks out to me was Aaron Black in MKX. He had the like sand grenade that he would roll, and I
Yes, he did.
remember there was a like visually impaired player that was saying that they would use Aaron Black and then they would basically count how long it took for the sand grenade to make contact with the opponent so they could gauge where they were on the screen. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've never heard of I've never thought of it in that way. I just kind of gauged just the distance of steps, really.
Okay.
You know, like, to be fair, though, the running mechanic in MKX was kind of silent.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it.
No,
But
not really well.
dashing was, yeah, every character had their individual dash sound. You could definitely hear Sub-Zero.
Right.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
was
his slide, like his slide dash type of thing that he had going on
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Right. Another question I had for you was like big, I'm big into mindfulness and stuff like that, and I was wondering, like, do you have any kind of exercises or things that you practice in terms of like helping ground you to that sense of sound as you're playing? Like, if anything kind of is maybe kind of taking you away from that, if that makes sense.
I think I understand. A lot of projects. Okay, Sindel, you can go suck one. Excuse me. I was doing something. Anyways, yeah, it's mainly just exercises in which I listen to other tournaments and just other stuff that I've done and analyze, depending on the player, what I should do next. Like, what are they gonna do? It's hard. Like, okay, say I've went against that person before. I'm gonna want to analyze that last match.
Hmm.
It definitely sounds like an unorthodox uh, thing to do, but it actually comes in handy because then you memorize what that person's gonna do and you're ready for it.
Right.
So you're pretty much filling them out in a sense. Is that's the way you're pretty much getting ready for your opponent deeper into the set.
Essentially,
Right.
Would you
yes.
would you say that you're trying to read them?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Interesting. Read them?
depending on.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
Sid,
because
shut up.
I can.
Sid, just stop.
Yeah. In a way, it's kind of a psychological experience because you're like, what is he gonna do?
Right, right.
Like, what style of play is he going to use against whatever character I'm going to be using at that point?
Hmm.
like, what choices will he be making to whatever situation I put him in?
Right.
Right.
That's the whole gimmick behind what I do. Such as, say if someone's playing, Combat League Scorpion,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and they're doing random ass teleports. I'm
Okay.
gonna catch up onto that, and they're not gonna like it.
Hmm.
My strat is bait out the spear, wait to see what they're gonna do, and if they actually do something different for once, then I'm gonna be like, alright, fine. I'll just do something different myself. Like, I'll use Konn's running cat, even though that move is glitchy.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm wondering just because, like, yeah, I guess I'm trying to understand because, like, from the sounds of it, like, the way you're perceiving the game is a lot different than me, right? So it's like, I guess I'm curious what goes into,
That
um,
thought?
well, what goes into like really almost preparing to utilize. And this might sound like a weird question, but like, what goes into preparing to utilize that sense of hearing and to rely on it as you do? Um, you know, uh, maybe I guess I just don't have the experience of having to engage that sense in that way, right? Like, if
Oh,
that
that's
makes sense.
understandable.
Yeah. So I guess I'm wondering if there's anything you do that keeps you focused on that sense of hearing as you're playing the match and doing everything else that you were talking about, like analyzing your opponent and stuff like that. It might kind of seem like a weird question again, but
Oh, it's not a weird question at all. In fact, there's a few methods. As I said before, analyzing matches I've done beforehand. Another interesting one that I use. Oh, hello, someone who's joined the party. I don't know. Um, Another one I
I couldn't see
use.
who it is.
I can't see at all, so
Let's see. Hmm.
is gaming soundtracks
Mm.
and how, depending on the general mood of the tournament in general. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, depending on the mood, like you're perceiving. It can be something like Killer Instincts or God of War. Konnor would have, I don't know. Characters in this game don't have their individual themes. It's just one big
Right.
theme.
Can I? Can I? Can I? Sorry.
Oh, go
All
ahead.
seriousness,
Go ahead.
is what you're saying? Are you? Because you said gaming soundtrack, so I'm thinking a certain time in the game, sometimes like the music will pick up or it'll get like really intense.
mm-hmm.
Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, in this game, I turn the soundtrack off. I play my own stuff in the background.
Gotcha. Okay,
Mm.
never mind then. All right.
So, just depending on what, like, Saberwolf has a very distinct, horror-ish theme, and I play that if I know for a fact I'm going to whoop someone's ass.
Mhm.
Because it's in my favor, so...
Yeah, for those people that don't know Killer Instinct, they anytime you hit people, there's a certain rhythm that goes with it. Really, when it's hit confirming. Am I correct?
It's awesome, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, I'm assuming you really don't get that as much.
No, you don't get any sort of that hype feeling when you're playing
Oh
MK11.
wow. And did you get that in MKX?
No, actually, MK9 had the best soundtrack out of all of them because it was like a lot of classics in there.
Uh-huh.
But as someone who thoroughly enjoys music, when you're doing certain activities, I didn't enjoy the last two soundtracks.
Oh wow, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'd probably have to say the same.
Yeah, it
And
was kind of sad.
and so do you play this competitively? Like are you in tournaments or like how is that?
Um, I am in tournaments, but it's not the regular ones that,
Okay.
people see nowadays. I'm not in any like weekly qualifiers or whatnot. I do specific blind events that people host, like Rattlehead, a
Oh
good
wow.
friend.
Uh-huh.
There's another guy that does stuff, T Blaze. I recently entered his tournaments, and it was awesome. Katanye did some stuff for us.
Kitanye. I'm sorry, I love that name. That's awesome.
It's a mix of Katana and Kanye
Yeah,
West.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. Sorry, proceed.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it
She
is.
did a lot of stuff because I think I don't know how long Rattle's known her,
Hmm.
but from the way they talk and everything, I'm assuming it's going to be a long ass time.
Right, right.
But in my case, I've known her for a while. She's hosted tournaments. And they're actual money matches as well.
Oh,
The legendary Sikander himself actually visited one of these tournaments, and it was on Twitch.
interesting. Okay.
I don't know if it's still archived, but he was there.
Was he a host or he just was like just kind of?
He was lurking.
Oh, he was lurking.
He
Interesting.
was lurking. But you can tell like other players that were there, like Titanium Tigers. Molly B showed up at one point. Don't know if y'all know who that is.
It sounds familiar. That sounds very familiar.
She worked with Losty Girl for a bit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds a little more familiar.
Yeah, that should. But we just have our own little community set up in which we do tournaments. And
Hmm.
they work. They definitely work.
Okay.
It's just not like I don't think you'd be seeing the same the same high level stuff you'd be seeing at a regular tournament when you have these players like Ninja Killa or Sonic Fox or Rewind.
Right, right. I
Like we
mean, they're
say,
not there anymore half the time, or more than half the time now.
they're not.
But that's interesting. I would love to. I mean, honestly, I would love to check out one of those tournaments. Like, it's honestly, to me, it's amazing, and I just think I'm more curious too, honestly.
Oh,
Um,
I'll definitely make sure that you get the memo for the next one.
oh yeah, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you're all invited. Just tell them Konnor was the one who got you the link in. They'll be like, "Oh, this guy."
Right.
This fraud.
This.
This guy.
And I do have one question, I guess, for one character in specific.
Okay.
And so when you play against them or as them, how do you even know what's going on? Because, like, okay, with Terminator,
Yeah.
he almost has
Makes
no
no noise.
grunts. No, yeah, he
He
makes
has
no noise.
nothing.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of I feel that's sometimes annoying, even as a person that could see, and like sometimes that's now, like now that I play with the soundtrack off, I try to hear hit confirms and hear this and that. I could see that would be extremely annoying for you. Like how does that even work?
It so I had to really, really get used to it because, like Jason MKX, yeah, he doesn't have any grunts, so
Oh, that's right.
I was forced to turn off everything
Hmm.
and essentially play as him, and
Oh.
because I love my grapplers, so he definitely fit that category.
Hmm.
He's the truest. I feel, in my opinion, he's the truest grappler you'll get in the game.
Okay.
He has the running man. He has the interchangeable command grabs. He has the attack throw string.
Hmm.
It just fits.
Right, right, definitely.
But as for just using him as my practice dummies was I use him as my practice dummy still because I don't have to worry about you know,
The other grunting interfering.
yeah,
Um,
essentially.
interesting. Okay.
Unless I have to practice specifically on female hitboxes, which is in a pain in itself.
Uh-huh.
Blech. It sucks.
I have another question, if I may.
Sure.
You mentioned that in this game and Injustice 2, you grinded for gear and stuff like that, right?
That was because you had stats. Here you don't.
Oh, okay. Do you do that in MK11 as well? Like, do you play the towers for the gear and stuff like that?
Only for the brutalities.
The brutalities? Yeah.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
almost all of them on Xbox, except for the Combat League ones. I have a few of them, but not a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious, I guess what you thought about the like or how much you value the like customization of the characters and stuff like that in 11, right? So,
Yeah. I think it just depends on everyone's like perception of what they want in that type of game. Me, I only pick a different skin if there's something different about it. And a good example is Christopher Lambert Raiden.
right, okay.
Oh,
I don't have the skin, but I want it.
right.
I want that thing so bad because, I grew up with a lot of his movies anyway. I grew up with Highlander. I, grew up with the classic MK MK movie from the, what was it, 1995?
Uh-huh.
That's what I thought. Or another good example is Kano's cybernetic skin, because you can actually hear his metallic
Yes. Yep.
skeleton
Right.
getting the shit smacked out of it. And it's
Right.
amazing. So, if there's, different voices, like, or premiere skins even in Injustice 2, I went for those a lot.
Okay.
If they have something like that, different voices or just different, effects to how they sound in general, I will never pick the Dimitri Vega skin for Sub-Zero. That's the only exception.
Sorry. That's hilarious.
No, trust me, I'd be laughing too. That's just horrible.
Yo, what's good, Exit? Welcome. Welcome.
Am I early?
Yeah,
Really?
No, you are not.
you're super late. Exit, by the way, this is Konnor. Konnor, this is Exit.
Conor McGregor, yo, what's good?
Oh my god.
No, I'm joking. What's good, man?
Yo, nice
This
to
is
meet you.
this is our the gentleman from the blind finding game community that Sid, of course, introduced us to. Thank you, Sid.
Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Don't thank me yet. I'll choose Blaze
It's like
Coal,
the
and then you
real
can thank me then.
Hollywood one up in here.
Of course.
Everybody, dude. Damn.
I don't know anybody.
I'm sorry.
No, it's alright.
So proceed. What you were saying?
So I was saying, like, in terms of, like, how I do stuff, sounds in general, like, Terminator definitely doesn't have anything behind him, but, like, I will only... Oh, yeah, you were asking how I did, like, customization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess I kind of had a follow-up question to that too. And does, like, because you bring up a good point by saying that there's different skins that have different sound effects, especially for like hit effects and stuff. Like, does that complicate the learning process for matchups against certain characters too? That, like you have to learn what the hit reaction is for different skins, basically.
Depends. Because they use certain sound engines for the cyborgs. If you noticed, MKX Triborg had a certain way he sounded whenever he blocked. Same with
Right.
Cyborg in Injustice 2. You'll notice that they are the exact same sound effect when it comes to the blocking animation. I don't know if you've had the time to like fully, look at that, but it's literally the same sound
Right.
And they have the same thing here in MK11, kind of. It's a bit different, I will admit, but it's still almost the same sound engine. So, unless it's a cyborg, no, I don't have a harder time learning the hit reactions of it. I don't know how plus it is on hit, but I will do something right after if I feel like it'll pay off. I don't care how minus I am.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
I don't care if I'm gonna get hit out of it, I'll still do it.
Right. um. Exit. Since you came in, pretty early, do you have any questions for Konnor by any chance?
Severely.
God, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any right now.
Oh no,
Actually.
you're good. You're good.
So, actually, what I wanted to say, it was more of a comment. I noticed that whenever we were playing, that you would, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny, but like normally people that can see, they would just crouch block.
Yeah.
We would just normally crouch block, but you'll stand full screen and you'll just stand there and you'll just stand block, which is just so funny to me because I'm thinking to myself, man, if I was using Geras, dude, it's over for you. You're done.
Yeah, because I don't know what to do.
Right? Yeah. So I assumed that was but I saw somebody else that was also blind, and I saw the way they were playing, and they were doing the exact same thing. And I don't know if maybe you might, me saying that might shed some light on the situation for you, or if you might have any insight on or if you're just like, dude, I was really clueless. I had, so I have an idea of why, I have my own idea, but I wanted to, what do you think?
So, there's a reason, and it's because I'm too much of a scaredy cat, because I feel like if I dash forward, or if I slightly step, I'm gonna get whiff punished.
Mm-hmm.
Because God knows I won't see it coming, and if I push a button, I'm stuck at a standstill. So I use characters, like Kotal Khan with his cat. It's -7 on block. It's no risk to it. Literally, if I
Even if you try to jump over it, you're probably gonna get clipped. Like, I've noticed that.
Right. Yeah.
And it's only -7 on block. The worst you can get out of it is a grab. Unless it's a crushing blow, then I'm questioning my life choices.
Right.
Okay.
So pretty much in neutral, you're like playing more defensive and like waiting to get your turn back.
Kind of, or when I get my turn back, just being as aggressive as possible, like down one command grab.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the winner right there, huh?
And people don't expect it unless they're high level crazy people.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, how do you feel about Aaron Black?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Jesus
I like him as a character.
Oh, okay, I think we're done here.
Damn.
All right.
No, here's the
Oh my
thing.
God.
Here's the thing. Listen to me. I like him as a character in the story mode. I never said anything about how he plays in this game.
There you go, Sid.
Facts. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think that checks
Got a
out,
good
right?
voice actor.
Yep. That's fine. Yeah, that checks out. All
And
right.
here's the reason why. His stance is weird. It's not like traditional M. Speaking of Aaron Black, I just got fatal blowed by one. Anyways, it's the AI of all things. I just didn't like the way he was designed in this game. Because I loved how he was in MKX with the sword and everything.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's a literal Tarkatan limb.
Yeah.
He's more like
Oh
a
my gosh.
mercenary than a cowboy in that game, I felt.
Yes.
If they combined the two elements, I would have been fine with that, but they just made him all southernish, and it's the same voice actor, but it's not the same.
Yeah, they're like, Troy, do a southern accent this time. Like, okay.
Oh, it is the same guy. Oh, I thought it was a totally different guy.
Nope.
Yeah, he
It's Troy
definitely.
Baker.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
does sound a little
yeah.
more western, or cowboy.
You know that game that you're really famous for? Yeah, kind of try to emulate that accent.
Exactly.
Um, Connor, I have another question actually. Just I'm curious, like, are there any kind of like special considerations that need to be made when you approach mirror matches with other players?
Oh, that's a good one.
Depends. If they're running the same variation, I'd have to like see what they're doing. I mean, not really any special considerations per se. It's just about adapting and see what they're gonna like. For me, I just have to see how they play the character. I might judge a bit, but that's literally all.
Yeah, I guess I was curious in terms of like because like from what I'm hearing, you've memorized what your character sounds like when he's being hit and into like by different moves and situations and stuff like that, right? So,
Yep.
like, is there a way that helps you differentiate between your character getting hit and their character and stuff like that?
Yes, controller vibration.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay. That was gonna be one of my questions too. And then I think like when it comes to like how you said like there's different skins like okay, let's just say you're playing a Kane mirror. Maybe
Yep.
one of you wouldn't have to would have to go with the cybernetic um skin maybe or
Yeah.
not necessarily.
I get what you mean. So if they're playing or if I'm playing the cybernetic and they're playing the regular one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I tell that I'm the one hitting them because they sound like, you know. Of course, cyborgs still bleed, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell when it's human flesh that's getting hit.
Oh yeah, definitely. But there's not like any I guess rule like when you're in tournament um like there's
No,
nothing
there's
like
not.
set in stone like okay, well, okay, you guys are the same character and like this is
Yeah.
what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I guess. Oh,
we only use competitive variations. That's the only rule, literally.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Unless, like, okay, like, we use customs, but, like, we always set it to competitive. Like, so no broken shit can be exploited.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely right. That makes
Yeah, I
Now,
sense.
guess
yeah.
I was kind of curious because I actually believe it was Rattlehead. Now that I think about it, when you talked about that video of him at Evo, it was Rattlehead that had to play against DJT, and
Yes, it was!
They're both Cyrax mains, right?
Yes,
So
they
like,
were.
there's bombs just going off everywhere, and I can only imagine that that was probably quite a challenge for Rattlehead to distinguish between the sound effects of the different bombs, like from each
Yeah,
player.
which one is his, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played MK9, so I imagine it's... Well, I know for a fact it's structured a lot differently, in ways that, like, I don't even know about. Unless it's player one advantage, I do know about that one. That's infamous. Um, Other than that, it was... Yeah, I've actually been meaning to ask him that for a while. Like, how would you know, unless it's just like any other NetherRealm fighting game? Because I know he had certain augments to his skins, differences in how he would play. I think. I'm not entirely. I think this is like a cyborg specific thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, in MK9, you could do the human form of
Yeah.
Cyrax and Sector, but my understanding was that, like, competitively speaking, actually using those skins was inferior because they had worse hitboxes or something like that. Like,
Oh wow.
you couldn't do the like really ridiculous Cyrax touch of deaths with the human skin on.
You know what I found is the fact that they allow those touch of death combos to begin with.
Right.
That's what I'm confused about. But, getting back to the subject matter at hand, yeah, there's definitely ways to get around it. It's a pain, but it's also an experience when you figure out how, like, someone else is playing your character and seeing if there's something you did wrong,
Right, right.
or if you can just call them out for it, which is even funnier.
So I have I hope I'm not. If anybody wants to go, please. I know I've been. Anybody? Okay, so I have a question about something that we definitely have all been through, which I think we talk about this cast all the time, dude. We ask pretty much every new person here, how do you deal with toxicity? So because you're blind, do you like when someone's playing I don't know, somebody is innocent as like a
Jade.
Jade, you know, how do you deal with like Will and losing to Jade? Like, you know, when I lose to Jade, I just kind of get used to it. At this point, like I'm used to it. I almost actually really kind of enjoy the match if I'm being quite honest, just because it's pretty challenging. You know what I'm saying? The game is, you know what I'm saying, built to challenge you. You know what I'm saying? But like for you, I don't know, whoever you might use and whatever in that situation, you know, like I just, cause with you being blind and everything, like even if it's not Jade, even if it's just like losing to a buddy like constantly, and you're down like I don't know 5, 10 matches, bro, and you know what I'm saying, it's just frustrating for you. Like, how do you get over that? You know what I mean? Because you're already there. Your first obstacle is right there. You can't even see what's going on, so you can't see that he's been teabagging you this whole time. Like, how do you?
I would hear it if he's doing it on the finish him screen. Then I'd be pissed.
Oh, so you can hear teabags.
You can hear it.
That's
Yeah, I can
interesting.
hear teabag.
Okay, huh? Interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
No, but yeah,
For
go
his
ahead,
own
sorry.
personal gain, of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, no, I take it in stride. I have a few friends who played that monstrosity of a character. One of them who is blind goes by Captain Earshot. Amazing Jade player. Too good. Too annoying. Hell.
Also a very good name, by the way. It's
Yeah.
a very good name.
It's
Your shot,
amazing.
that's a good one.
Yes. He is amazing. He was the dude I lost to in the Sento Showdown. And last year's champion. I got second place with Kodal. So that's all I'm good for.
Oh, nice.
Yep,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's still really good, yeah.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
he got first place. He won both years, and this has been only going on for 2 years.
Oh, nice. Okay, and so you won the second year. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
All right, you got second the second year. That's awesome. Dude.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I was asking how do you like basically keep your composure?
A lot of patience.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I imagine. I honestly I imagine it would take like serious amount of patience for me. That's wild.
It's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
And have you been in any I guess local events by any chance, or are all the events that you've attended just are all online, or?
Yeah, they're online.
Oh, okay. So you haven't had the chance to actually do a local.
Just because where I live, I don't think there is any.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, that's the same. That's the same type of thing I deal with as well here in New Mexico. There's almost little to no, uh, community, if you will. But would you ever be willing to ever go to like a local that's, I mean, somewhat near you, or
Oh,
in the
hell
near
yeah, I
future,
would.
like an Evo, or
Definitely. Oh, depending on what game is being played.
Right, right. Oh, okay.
If
No,
it-
I was just
yeah,
curious. Because I mean, why
'cause-
not?
Yeah, I'd totally be down. I just have to, get someone to get me over there.
Right, right. Sid, there you go.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. You're right. No,
yeah, Southern California.
yeah, there you go. You get off that
Yeah,
island.
He's like,
that's
no.
Exit's job. That's Exit's job.
There you go.
Aw.
Yeah, who riding? That's where we go. If we don't make it to the event, we probably in jail. Just letting you know.
Mobbing.
You know.
Can't do that to me, man.
I'm
And,
joking.
and Connor's actually from the West Coast as well, so it's fitting
Oh,
a
there
little
you
bit for
go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and so
that's
is
what's up.
Exit.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Um, so Connor, do you have any questions for us, maybe?
I'm just wondering how, like, y'all started off your, career. Did it start in the early stages of NetherRealm development, or was it just later down the line?
Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, sure, okay. I just it's Sid, by the way, Konnor. I don't know. I
I
know that
know.
you can't see, so I don't know if.
Oh my
Oh my goodness, dude! You bastard!
No, I did. I just I bother people on YouTube, man. I
Yeah, he was
just let
fanboying
people.
out on us. He was like, "Oh, exit! Can I
No,
please be on West Side, please,
He was begging to
please?"
be a West Side Button
He was
Masher.
begging.
I don't
I
know
have the
why we
files.
have to bring this. Isn't this the
Sometimes when
past?
I'm feeling down, I look back at that cost and I just like those messages like, please guys, I just need one chance, please. Like, oh my god, dude, you're a pathetic, Sid.
You know
You're
something,
pathetic.
man? He's cool. I have him on my streams whenever
That's
I
what I'm
do
talking about,
Twitch.
man. I
Oh, so you do
appreciate that.
stream as well? Okay.
I do, yes.
Oh wow. All right.
It started after the fiasco with the Sento Showdown. I had vowed never to get Twitter because of how toxic it was. And then after that, I was like, how bad could it be? Everyone knows me now.
That's how they get you, man. That's how
Yep.
they got me. I was the exact same way. Now I'm like, I wake up and I'm on that shit every day. I'm just like a loser. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
I'm not even on it as much.
Well, okay, that's good. I'm not
Yeah.
recommend it. It's pretty terrible.
I find myself on there quite a bit, almost as much as I was on Facebook at one point, like almost all the time now. Yeah, it's funny.
Twitter? Sorry?
Yes.
Zoned out for a sec. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I need to take a bit of a break from Twitter for my mental health.
There you go.
Smart.
Yeah.
There you go.
I agree.
It is hell.
And pretty much the way the West Side Butt Masters like pretty much started, it was just, I mean, we're just a group of dudes that are just, we love MK, we love fighting games for the most part. At least I can say so for myself. I know Sid like he liked Dragon Ball Fighters,
Ooh.
and I mean we met each other online, of course, in the midst of COVID, if you will. Exit was probably one of the first people I met in the scene. And then we pretty much long story short, we're playing a few games, we chop it up quite a bit, and then next thing you know, he was streaming, and he was getting tired of streaming. He pretty much, in a sense, volunteered me
Voluntold. You
to
can say
stream.
it.
Voluntold, in a sense.
Voluntold.
Yeah, aggressively encouraged, if you will. No. To stream.
To his head and everything.
But you know what? I kind of do find joy in it. I find it fun. I find it extremely entertaining, and just like it's just always been something that I never knew I wanted to. I mean, I love games. I love playing video games, especially Mortal Kombat, and I
yeah.
never thought I would have felt like such a joy out of doing this
Connecting with people.
and connecting with people. And I feel like the cool thing is I feel like what I like to do is bring I mean, just like try and bring the community as much as I can together, or just get to know people. Just
That's
because
the whole point.
yeah, exactly. For me, because I probably say this almost every podcast. Like it's like pretty much finding a family that I never knew I had, in a sense, and it's
That's
just been amazing.
understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fairly in the mix of the competitive. I have my times where I'm good, and I have my times where I get my ass whooped. you know.
Same.
But I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I did meet LBD actually be joining us quite a bit. So as awesome as he is, and he's just a very very good high level player, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for saying that. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course. And then of course, you know, we got X the T, who is possibly the most entertaining YouTuber out there. That I mean, if it's not just MK, he's just probably the best YouTuber, I think, in my opinion. And Sid, you know, we just got the best, you know, clout chaser in the world. I'm just kidding, Sid. No, awesome person, awesome person. But you know, I'm just kidding, Sid.
Oh man.
But yeah, so.
Not wrong.
Oh,
Yo,
here we go. There's the clapbacks.
bro, bro. I said once, I said it a million times, dude. I absolutely love Konnor's voice, dude. I don't know what it is, bro. Like, I love his voice. His voice is just so energetic. And I mean, if you haven't been to his streams, it's really loud because he's blind and he can't see, so he turned up the volume. But it's still really good. I love it, dude. Oh man, that's all I gotta say about that guy. He's awesome. He's legit awesome. Yeah.
And then, so you normally you stream on or you do stream on Twitch, you said, right?
I do, yes.
And where can we find you on Twitch?
My same gamer tag is on here, MTL Killer X18.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna try and find that link right now so I can post it in the comment section, because we definitely want to expose this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Of course, so people can find you.
He plays Injustice. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but he plays Injustice. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's interested in that, and of course.
Oh, that's gonna be madness.
So, yeah, I've definitely seen him do both those. It's definitely pretty cool. Go check him out, man. He's awesome, dude. Yeah.
And do you have any other questions for us, or does anybody else have any other questions for Konnor by any chance?
Oh yes, actually yes. Your controller. Is your controller Braille?
No, it is not. I had to learn the buttons manually.
Gotcha. Because it wasn't me that asked that question. It was actually JBK. I don't know why he would ask something like that. I've never seen a Braille controller, but he wanted to know if your controller was Braille. Just so you know.
Well then, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Good on you for asking that question, because I don't think I've met anyone who's actually.
Like I said, it wasn't mine, but yes, I will let him know how you feel about that.
No, I'm fine with it. I'm just like, all right. All right.
I think I mean it's a fair question in a sense, because like maybe like the shapes kind of pop out a little bit more or something like that, or I mean I think I get where the pawn's coming from.
Like,
yeah.
I use the standard PS4 controller, Dual Shock. It has the headphone jack in it and everything. It's a normal controller.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't his question. That was he did have a question. Actually, I'm trying to. That's right. He said, "Do you dumb down the combos to make them easier, or do you go for the opties?"
Depends on the combo. Sometimes I go for I did go for the Sikander Sub-Zero combo at one point because I was like, why not? I did it. Still got my ass whooped, but I did it because it just sounds depending on how satisfying it sounds to get the combo.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Anybody else? Or any more live questions from the chat? You're more than welcome to ask anything you want, within reason, or you will be timed out. Forever hold your peace. No, I'm just kidding.
Kind of just want to find out Immortal.
You guys want to time out Immortal?
I'm actually really excited for you to like play us, you know what I'm saying, or play these guys on stream, you know what I'm saying. So I totally want to see that, so that they know, you know what I'm saying, whether you're actually blind or not, you know, so they can discern for themselves and hopefully find out the truth, which is that you're not. So.
Totally understandable. That's understandable. I can understand why people would be skeptical. This is not something you joke about, though.
You're right.
And going back to how I dealt with toxicity, that question,
Hmm.
There is an incident I distinctly recall, and I don't know why, but Xbox people, man, they are toxic as all hell.
Hmm.
Interesting.
And okay, I was
I have
streaming.
heard that it's worse on Xbox, actually.
It
No,
is
it's worse.
so
No. You ever play
bad.
Halo, and then
It
people are just talking
is.
shit to you, and then you're like, alright, see me in MK11, pussy. And it's like, alright, I'm on the PS4. They're like, bye. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the...
It's like don't accept the challenge unless you know your console, bastards.
Yeah.
I think the Xbox has more of a hardcore audience, if you want me to be honest, than
Oh, they definitely do. But there
than
was this
PS4.
dude. There was this dude. I remember his gamer tag distinctly. It was like Big OG Thugga or something like around those lines. So that's
Oh
how you know
gosh.
he's already kind of a douchebag. And I didn't look at his gamer tag until after he did what he did.
Oh, jeez.
And I was, minding my own business on Combat League. I was just streaming, okay? And
Uh-huh.
then I beat him once. No big deal. No talking, no talking trash. There was nothing said. He beats me once, proceeds to go on a rant now, like, he's better than me. And, like, I'm carried by these characters and I have no skill. And I'm just like, okay, first to 10. We're gonna stream this on my friend's channel. He's like, I'm gonna look at your history. Dude, you play so many broken characters. Like, you're legit trash. You play Shiva, you play Cabal, Kotal Khan. Like, I hope that's not your main. I'm like, if you're done talking, get this over with, or this is not even worth my time.
Right, right.
I'm probably wasting your time because you'd be giving up that money anyway. I wouldn't even take it.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay.
Damn.
And I blocked him, reported him, because at that point, I was, 17? This guy sounded like he was in his, 30s. And technically that's, harassing a minor. Which, it sounds trivial at first, but considering how young I sound, joke's on him, right?
Right.
So I hope I'm not interrupting. Right. This is actually one last question I have. Now that I'm thinking about it. So because what I'm saying, I know that what I'm saying, for someone being born blind, that actually must have been really tough on you, and definitely. Oh,
Good,
okay. So
okay.
and definitely I know that I'm saying there are people that I've known that have had similar that have been I guess that have been disabled in some way, or ably challenged, in some way that and people would take that and they would use it against them, or make fun of them for it and make them feel less than, and I'm never somebody that ever wants to make anybody feel like that, if I crack jokes, it's 100% just me being goofy. Obviously you guys all understand that by now. But
Oh, yeah.
what I'm asking you, is there anything that you would want to share? Because I know sometimes it's nice just to get something off your chest and for people to hear your story. Is there something that you might want to share with us and the stream? About a time that maybe you didn't feel
That's welcome.
like that you were welcome or as good as you should have felt in a situation, and then what helped you get through that?
That's a good question. And it was the majority of my, I want to say, yeah, it was the majority of my 10th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
New school. I had been in private school for 2 years, so I had dealt with public schools before. But all my teachers were nice, but it was the kids themselves that were, they wouldn't say anything, but, well, at least not with me, but I would hear them say something once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, at that point, I'm wondering, like, what have I done to you to make your ass take a few minutes out of your day to discuss that with your friend about someone you haven't even gotten to know yet. Like,
Yeah, some kids are dirtbags.
trust me, if you've been to my area, ugh, it is, it's one hellhole. I mean, okay, there's some nice people. It's a nice area. It's just the school that, I see them in, a lot of them suck.
Right.
Yeah,
Understandable.
it's not fun.
And how would you get through it, or what helped you get through it?
What I'm doing right now is, gaming mainly, but, another way I do it, shut up, Garrus, was, listening to books. That's another big thing for me, or music. Any sort of art form that I can do is amazing. Like, I live for it. Like, I love listening to movies, and whenever I can, and I'm not busy anymore.
Uh-huh.
Listening to music, that's definitely one. Or books. I'm a huge bookworm. It's kind of crazy, because you're probably wondering, like, how the hell do you have so much time?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but okay.
Most people do. It's like, most gamers don't really have time for books anymore.
Yeah.
Nor blind people, but okay.
Oh my god.
Just-
I was expecting it. I was expecting it, and I'm not disappointed.
That's what I'm guessing that you saying these books are either in Braille or they're audiobooks, right?
They are audiobooks.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
I have a shit ton of them.
Oh wow.
Good for you, dude. Good for you, definitely.
Yep.
That's
And
awesome.
like, do you have family that's aware of like maybe that you compete
Oh,
in
yeah,
MK, or like, are they pretty supportive, or they're just like, it's like his hobby, he'll get over it type of thing, or like like
Oh,
how does
no,
that go?
my whole family is for it, as far as I know. They
Right.
can't really stand the blood and whatnot, but, since I can't see it, and we're all used to it at this point, they go with it.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
That makes sense. All right.
They're probably just like, okay,
It's good he can't right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I imagine they'd have a lot of stuff to say to me if, like, I could see it, but, it's okay.
Right. Interesting. Well, that's good. That's good that you have a really good support system. That definitely does help.
Facts. Definitely.
You
Definitely.
definitely need one when it comes to certain stuff like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You definitely, like, when it comes to, certain events like what I was doing before and what I plan to do again, you need that support system to just get you through it, because it is rough, it is stressful, it's fun, but there is just a mental taxation that comes later. It's like, I don't even want to do anything fancy. I just want to go sleep,
Right.
wake up the next morning, and relax.
Right.
That's it. Nothing else. Just that.
Really resisting the urge right now to jump in and go full work mode based on this conversation, but
There are a couple more things that I can think of that I was thinking of wanting to ask, but yeah, I can wait till like the cost actually, and then we can just kind of casually play while we talk. I guess if that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
I wouldn't
Cool.
mind.
Awesome. Yeah.
If nobody else has any questions in the chat, what we're gonna do is, of course, we're gonna invite Konnor and of course LBD into the Koth, and
I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. I know that much.
LBD usually works us for the most part.
Just wait for Joker.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, these are all the questions I had, and Konnor, but we really appreciate your time.
Of course.
Big time, and letting us pick your brain. You've been a good sport, especially when it comes to Sid, because you know we know how terrible of a person he is at times. Uh,
Okay, all right. That's coming from an Iron Man. Let's calm that down, buddy.
Oh, Tarkardin, boy. Oh, yeah.
I'll let that slide.
Right. But anybody else besides before I close out the podcast, or unless you have anything else, maybe you want to give a shout out or anything else you'd like to add in there, Konnor?
Well, as for people, other people in this blind community, there's a video that needs to be talked about,
Hmm.
Oh,
and this was released I think a day and a half ago.
sex
From
tape.
Very funny.
Oh.
That is horrible, man.
Oh, sorry. Let me chill because I don't even know what this video is. Go ahead. Sorry.
It is essentially a documentary on how Rattlehead, started his whole thing.
Hmm.
And I just want to share this out now. I think it's worth the watch. It's insightful. No pun intended, of course. No, I'm being dead serious. It's very enlightening in terms of people wonder this a lot. Like, how the hell do we do this? It's what the? Oh, I knocked something over. It's just worth it. Like, you have all these questions that you're probably wondering now, even that you don't know how to give phrase to. This answers a lot of it, like how accessibility in gaming has come so far to the point where me, the blind guy over here, and a bunch of other people are actually playing. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube or?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Let me find it. It takes me a bit.
Oh no, you're fine. You're totally fine.
This, hold on. So the video is called this blind pro gamer teaches me to play Mortal Kombat subcultured, and the channel is PTS Voices. Sorry, PBS Voices. Excuse me.
PBS
There we go.
voices.
Yeah, very insightful. I would highly recommend giving that one a look.
Okay.
That's all I really have to say for now. But if any of y'all have your questions for later, there's always my my PS4 and my Twitter DMs and my Xbox. I'm literally available at almost all times. I have nothing better to do. I'm messing with you, don't worry.
I did find it here, and I will post that. I'll post that in the chat as well. And thank you again, Konnor. Big time. It's been an honor.
Thank you for having
Yes, sir.
me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you again. Again, Sid. Of course, we have to thank Sid, or else he's gonna feel left out.
And he's gonna get all pissy.
And then he wants you to call him daddy for no fucking reason. Like, he's, oh yeah, call me daddy. Like,
Okay, guys. That's enough.
Is that his kink or something?
yeah, dude, he fucking loves that shit.
And anyway, I don't know why
He
we have to talk
loves
about
that
this.
shit. Like, so fucking weird.
As I said, I feel sorry for him on Valentine's Day. Or the girl he's with.
So, all right. Well, I will go ahead and end it. And we will see you guys here on the next stream with the Koth. So,
Hell yeah.
much love, everyone. See you
Thank
here
you.
in a second. Yes, and thank you again, Konnor. And we are.